So I think I'm going to just go ahead and crank this out off screen and get like the 2 levels up and everything so that we can actually start building the reactor in the next episode. We do still have a long way to go on this. This is of course not the only way to set up these reactors. You can set them next to each other, which probably makes more sense than putting them on top of each other like I'm doing. I just really like the idea of the tower. And the more I think about it, I really like the idea of the additional machinery and pipes just sitting on the outside of the tower. I went ahead and built the outside of the first building. I figure we'll be building quite a few buildings around this one, including one exactly like it, right next to it, so I'd show that and go through all of the tough, difficult parts of having to actually figure out how to build the thing on screen. That would be tedious for all of us. So now we have a design style established and exactly how I would like for this building to look. This thing is so cool. You can make them really pretty big too. I just thought the basic model would do for now. Kind of looks like we're going to be approaching at night. That's kind of unfortunate. But I can just place down this bed. I also made myself another bed. And there it is. I think it'll look pretty cool. These 2 voids here in the middle, which are actually dirt, those are going to end up being where the reactors go. And we'll be getting to that next, but I just wanted to show what this ultimately ended up looking like. And we just need to navigate ourselves back over this. Come down and land. And then unassemble the thing. Okay. And down we go. So this will ultimately be the top of the top reactor. It's important to be able to access the top of the reactors and also the sides, which are along here. And then it's hard to see them, but out here, let's actually go ahead and put our way out, see if I can find it. So it should be like here. Are these rings that go around so that we can put in a floor if we need to. Whenever we decide where the second building is going to go, there's going to be like some structure between the two, so that if nothing else just gives us the location of where those are going to be pretty much. And I think that the torches will probably change. Actually, I don't have a chisel on me, but I can chisel the torches and turn them into light bulbs. I think that would look pretty cool in there. Give it more of the kind of industrial feel, which is really what I was going for the whole thing. Alright, so the next step then to this will be actually building at least one of these reactors. Alright, and we're back. At the mine again. I feel like I made another chisel. I did. That'll be for the torches. I guess I like these light bulbs. And then glass, iron, yellorium, graphite. I'm really not sure if that's going to be enough materials, and I'm a little bit concerned because I also believe I need redstone. Let's just take a look real quick. Bit of redstone, some wood, and a bit of glass. I mean, I think it's going to ultimately be anybody's guess on whether or not this is enough to make. Should be enough to make one, I would think, but I have no idea if it's going to be enough to make two. Okay. I've got a chest. I'm going to need some cobblestone. There we go. All right. And once again, I shall see you back at the power plant. It's my favorite thing ever. Ever. So I think that the lower of the two will be the easier one. And both of them will be built from the bottom up. So I guess I'm going to start with the bottom one. Not even really for any reason. I feel like I should make the things first that I know I'm going to need. These things take quite a bit. Is that yellorium or iron? And then here's where I need those pistons. And pistons, I make way too much to not exactly remember. I always flip the redstone and the iron. Not always, I guess. So I know I'm going to need a whole lot of reactor casings because just the bottom and the top alone both need 49, since it's a 7 by 7 by 7 structure. So that's 49 plus 20 is 69 just for the frame. That's a lot. But I don't have enough resources even to make one. Oh, except that they make 4. I always forget that. So let's see what... Can I do a half a stack? No, because that is iron. It figures that it would be iron. Well, we're going to get enough to start. Looks like about 10, 40. 40. Oh, no. Okay, let's go get as far as we can get with this. Some of these are going to be difficult to get, but we can get most of them turned into light bulbs here. Okay. So I will start by removing some of this dirt and then a whole layer of the reactor casing. There's one side, this one, that's obviously going to be a bit awkward. But none of these machines' access ports, none of that kind of nonsense is going to actually end up going into that side, I don't think. I could almost make an argument for putting the power tap, like, here. I think. And if I put it, like, in the middle here, then it can run out there. Okay, so I know where the power tap is going to go. The controller, I think I want to be... walk under that wire. You know, I think I'm going to put the controller directly below the power tap. So next come these access ports. I think these are definitely going to come up here. I mean, they're kind of difficult to access from up here, but that's not really the point, I guess. They'll ultimately run through the glass, connect with the other ones, which will probably be on the bottom right there, and have a nice little, like, plutonium plant there. And that'll go across to the other building as well when we get to that. It's going to be a lot of power. Like, unnecessary, probably. Well, it kind of seems like I'm going to need the yellorium. I'm definitely going to need to grab some more iron. Yeah, so I guess I'm just gonna go grab another stack of iron for the moment and see how far this gets me. I'll be right back. That's better. I mean, except that I still missed one. I think I really like how those look. Definitely a lot better than the torches. They really sell this being an industrial sort of a building here. Okay. So I'm missing quite a few components of this, but I wanted to get the basics of it finished. Well, I broke that one out, and I don't have another one on me. That'll probably just confuse me later. But it's not actually completely solid in the top. In fact, I'm not really too sure how solid it's going to end up being at all. And I will replace these. Oh, man. This pickaxe just goes right through these and then immediately into that glass. That's super unfortunate. I guess it's not really that unfortunate. I've got regular glass. I could probably make a chisel real quick. But really it just needs to have this frame all the way around and then continue it out along here. So the next reactor, this one up here, these access ports down there will be like right up there. They'll probably all kind of funnel into the middle here, maybe. Probably not, because there's not a lot of room to walk. That's why I wanted to put out those extra rooms out there. And let's replace these factory blocks. Right click here. There's one, and then there was another one. There's a corner. Working with glass can be a bit tedious because it's really easy to lose like track of where the holes are. Oh no. I think that I don't want that. I think I just want like that so that I can get to these relatively easily, but we'll have another exit out. Okay, so real quick before the sun sets. Interesting, but not what I'm after. Okay, 4 of those. Okay, let's just run up there real quick and figure out where we're going to put these redstone ports. They're a pretty important part of this whole thing. And they are big and ugly. They tend to be right in the way. But I've got an idea. There, I think it needs to be 2. Supposed to just like 1, 2 blocks. Yeah. I do believe that should work. You know, I think that the second building ultimately is going to end up being a very important thing. It'll have the other power components in it, the giant battery, like the capacitor bank, and the RF monitors and all of that. Okay, well, I'll see if I can get away with putting them one apart. I'm going to need to play with it a little bit. That's something else I can do off screen. I'm not the best at technical, as I've said. 25. Except I don't think I want 25. Let's see how close this gets me. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, that's an interesting idea right there. Those are going to end up being this reactor glass. And I come out this way. One for one. 4. Okay, I mean, I said I need 57, but this takes a lot of glass. It's cool though, because glass is cheap. And this fills out the wall. Should complete the thing. I guess I could leave this as my doorway for the moment, and then work all the way the rest of the way around to that. It would be very easy for me to trap myself in this thing, and then I would really be in quite a bit of trouble, in fact. Well, I guess not. I mean, I'd probably only just have to break it to get it out. It'd be annoying for sure. Speaking of annoying, what did I do? I'm going to go ahead and make 22 more. Almost all of my glass. So after we complete these last few steps, unfortunately be the last little bit of time that we have for this episode. However, this should be a really good jumping off point for the whole rest of this next upcoming month. We've got this whole thing that needs to be built. We need to do another reactor up there, and then the reactors produce power, but we got to store it in some batteries. So we're going to have to make some capacitor banks and probably some tesseracts so that it can transfer the power. And I'm kind of thinking that I might even just possibly put tesseracts like right attached to the one of these power taps, maybe. So now, one thing I didn't think about is this thing that goes on top. Okay. So this just gets built something kind of like this. We're getting pretty close to the top here. And this is going to really set us off very nicely for building the rest of this whole structure here. Once we get this structure built, then we'll build the tower next to it together, and then build maybe another reactor in there, but probably just machines and the battery and the tesseracts and all of that kind of stuff. So that's what's coming up for the next month on this series. We'll no doubt spend time in the mine as well, and in that workshop over there. I kind of am liking the idea of spreading out this entire, well, this whole world, really, and then maybe ultimately connecting it by train, but I don't even know that that's necessary. Okay, and then to finish it off, for the moment, I'm just going to put those on there. They need control rods up on the top, and then this fuel rods, I need 1, 2, so like 3 aside, 3, 6, 7, I need 8 more of these. And then this reactor will be finished, so that I'll probably finish off this one off screen, because we're ultimately going to need the power that it's going to provide pretty soon here. And then we can come back and work on the next one together some as well. Unfortunately, however, that is going to have to do it for today. For episode 12, and also pretty much for the month of March. Thank you for tuning in, especially if you have been watching both series. I hope that you're enjoying them. I'm definitely enjoying making both of them. A whole lot of fun. And I will see you in episode 13, which will start out the month of April. So thank you one more time for tuning in, and I hope you're having a great day. I'll see you in the next episode. 40. Oh no. So I added quite a bit, including finishing out both reactors, as it was just more of the same. This little tower to the side. You know what, let's just go up and take a look. Okay, so this tower out here is mostly just a water tower so that I can supply water to the cyanide reprocessor here. I think that all that we have left to do then is to turn them on. And there you can see just a little bit bleeding in. But that should turn on everything. So it turned off because I have redstone, those redstone ports, and they toggle it on or off depending on what percentage the reactor is at currently. Eventually those will change, but for now, that's the way it's set up. And as it was rising, it hit the lowest marker, which toggled it off. So you'll see it turn itself off again when it gets up to like 98%. And there it went, it turns off, and it does still run for a second once it hits that 98%, and then it obviously becomes 100% full. So this will now monitor itself and turn itself on and off as need be, although there isn't much attached to it, it's just those pumps. Here. And you can see they've got power and they're pumping water to here. Although, there we go. So one final thing to note here is that I did record myself building the other reactor. This other tower took way too long, so I am not going to use that footage. But the footage of me building the other reactor will end up being a time-lapse sort of a footage that will probably end up on the website in the extra footage section. So check the description below, there will be a link